Hi.
Good evening. Gabriel being the first one to say good evening. I was just saying how there's no one in the chat yet.
Good evening, guys. It's been 2 weeks.
Been two?
Right?
Yeah.
Or is it 3?
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
I looked at our thing. Last time you posted was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. I could see the rays of the...
Yeah, the sun is coming. It's kind of like half and half. You got a little bit of spray from the ray. It's been foggy all day, and then when we try to go live, the fog recedes. Can you bring the on-screen chat back? It should be still there.
Oh, yeah. It's not here. Look.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They've changed the settings again, looks like. I'm going to see if I can find it. They keep changing the settings. Let's try it now. There we go.
There you go.
Yep, they do the setting change every randomly, and bada bing, bada bang. We don't know it until we find out about it.
So now you guys can see what everybody is typing.
And the chat crawl's not there because we were doing a test for something else. So let me see if I can even pull up the chat crawl. You guys keep talking. I had it set up the other day for a live stream for a funeral, but we ended up not doing the funeral. We ended up doing through Zoom. So
just bear with us.
Bear with us. There's your crawl. All right. Great place. We're here. Great things to do.
Got things to do.
Can't attend, but yet you're here.
Okay, well, Parrish, thanks for stopping by for even just a minute. We appreciate it. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah. So anyway, we were doing a lot of things. So first of all, we ended up with.
First of all, we're recovered.
Fully
just
recovered.
So you know, we're fully recovered. For you guys that don't know, we both had COVID. We did lose our background. So again, Gabriel says, I think you may have also lost your more colorful restream background. Yes. He changed the settings, so he took off our background because we were going to stream a funeral. But we ended up using Zoom, so he hasn't put all of those things back together again. So we'll not have the background this evening. But that's okay. I'm sure you guys can manage.
Yeah, you'll be fine without the background.
Felix says, it's been too long. I already got married, 2 kids, and own a Chrysler PT Cruiser now. Sheesh. All right, well, if you can do all of that in 2 weeks, I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
I'm more than impressed. Hi, Mr. Anderson. Oh, wait, no. I said it incorrectly. How do you say it?
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
So we had COVID. We got it shortly after 4th of July.
I think I got it on my birthday, but I didn't know about it till July 4th.
We think we got it around the same time, but I tested positive a day after he tested positive, and I had tested negative when he did, so we're not really sure. But anyways, we're both recovered, and we're both feeling great. This time around, both of us have had COVID twice. The first was summer of 2022, and then this summer, so 2 years apart. And I will say that this time around, I think my fever was a little higher. But I've noticed a little bit of the same symptoms as I had last time. I think this time around was maybe just a teeny bit worse. But nevertheless, we have recovered.
And you know what I just noticed? The background that we had before, it looked like it may have up and vanished because I don't see it
The
anymore.
Millennial-Boom one?
Yeah, I don't see it, which is kind of strange.
That's what I thought too. Gabriel said, to be fair, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, so we have not been there for 3 weeks because I think there was one weekend where we...
Birthday?
It was the weekend
before the birthday.
before your birthday, maybe?
No, we went out of town.
No.
On that Monday.
And do we not come on that Sunday? June 30th, he said, so I guess no.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 weeks, but we didn't have COVID for 3 weeks, though. Man, that would suck if we had it for that long. Nah.
That would be crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, the background went poof. I see one, but I don't want to click that because it looks like the background for the supporting a political cause, and I'm not going to do that one.
Kim Nicholas, sorry, I butchered that. Kim McNicholas says, "Love you, Stanley. You were one of my greatest mentors at Cron."
Well, thank you.
She's joining us from LinkedIn.
Yay! I'm sorry. Keep talking. I'm just trying to figure out what happened to that to our background.
Okay.
So it should have went away.
That's okay.
We were only gone for 3 weeks, and we lose the whole background.
I mean, we lost a little bit more than that, but that's okay.
Anyway, so we are here, and there's a lot been going on, but a lot of things we like to discuss, but we won't. But there's other things that we want to discuss that we will.
So after COVID, we attended a funeral.
And then, so here's the crazy part. So if you guys remember, about 3 weeks ago, my niece was killed in a tragic car crash in Philadelphia. My sister's
Niece's daughter.
So my second niece, I guess you'll call her. And then we had the funeral that we had to go to in Monterey, which was, we helped do the Zoom for it, and we set up everything. And then while we were waiting at the interment in Santa Nella, my sister, I ended up talking to my sister again, and as fate would have it, my nephew, who didn't know he was sick, had ended up having 4th stage pancreatic cancer, which, as we all know, it's like a 90% mortality rate. Almost, if you get it, it's pretty much a death sentence, and he passed away. So it's literally like one after the other. So I hope this stops. It usually happens in 3s, so we're at 3 now. Hopefully it won't go into 4 or 5. But, it's always, sad news. So it's been a lot going on. But, yes, there we go. We're also working on a new thing coming up. We got a golf tournament that we're going to be doing some Mr. Badley coffee at. We're going to be offering complimentary coffee at a Vern Glen golf tournament in Oakland. So that will be a great event. And we're looking forward to that. Hopefully it will get our minds off of all the other things that's been going on. But we've been having fun a little bit.
And you celebrated another year of life. Before we got COVID, so he had celebrated a birthday as well.
So here's the funny part about that. So we go to my restaurant I like to go to out in Monterey, and we were there sitting down eating with some friends, and you see somebody staring at you from a distance, and you're like, maybe they're looking at TV. You don't want to assume that they're looking at you, and so you look over and he's still there, and they're laughing, and I'm like, what's going on? So we get up to leave, and then you hear him yell my name out. It turns out that was, I don't know, we never showed that it was a former Oakley cop that I had worked with at one point, who was sharing a picture of us together.
From like maybe 7 or 8 years ago?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
and then they held up the phone with that picture and took another picture.
Yeah, exactly. So that was cool. I love that. When you meet people, especially no matter where you are, you run into someone. You never know who you're going to run into, so you always treat everybody with the same amount of respect. You should do it automatically, not just...
not just because...
Yeah. Oh my God, I will be an MC for a celebrity putting competition, so I hope to see you. Oh, well, it'll be good to see you, Kim. Yeah, we're offering some Mr. Badley coffee. You can find that at store.mrbadleytv.org. Or you can go to...
Is that in the crawl?
You can go to mrbadleytv.org, and at the very bottom, you'll see a link for Mr. Badley coffee. And we're in the process of doing a rewrite on the website to make some changes that will make the site more functional, I hope. And I just got a call I talked to my web developer today, and he said he's doing some little tweaks here and there, so that should be cool. When we get that all done, I'll let you know when it's done. You'll see it. It won't be a huge change, but it will be some upgrades a little bit. We have a new server, so hopefully it'll get even faster than it was before. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And don't forget, it's watermelon season.
Oh, we got some watermelon.
Where's those stickers at from Raw Food?
I don't know where you put them.
Oh, well. So we got a buddy of mine named Raw. He has a site called Raw Food. And if you go, I think it's rawfood.com. I'm not sure 100%. But
the stickers were. I saw them here, but
Yeah,
I know
I have-
you kind of rearranged things.
I rearranged
so
stuff, yeah.
So I don't see them right now.
yes,
The bag might be over there though. If you wanna, let me see if I can. No. You got it?
No.
I was gonna see if I can get it with my feet.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Footsies.
skills. Okay, yes, because he has a bag here. He gave us a watermelon, raw food and goods. It doesn't have the email address or web address. It's just the name of it.
So raw foods.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Yeah. We love his stuff. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Raw food. If you look him up, you find him.
Yeah.
Good food. We got almonds from him. We got
We
small
got
watermelon.
blueberries from him.
The watermelon was sweet too.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
It's really sweet.
He texted me earlier and said I ate half of the watermelon already.
It was
I was
about-
like, dang, thanks.
It was about this big, just to be fair. It wasn't like one of those big ones.
Still. No, Betty Veronica. Stanley doesn't have it anymore. We both had it earlier in July.
So I got rid of it the last Friday, and then Saturday I went to had to go down to Monterey to take care of some business to make sure that the everything was we can function when we do the Zoom for the funeral. And the irony of the funeral was that it was Lionel Mosley, and his son was Dewey Mosley, who was a retired colonel from the Army. And so they both were in the military. Sergeant Lionel Mosley, and he passed away, was like 96, not 93,
Yes, 96.
96.
Well, only me and you get that.
Someone who was given the obit had the his age wrong, and every time she said the age, the whole crowd said 96.
Yeah, the whole crowd tried to correct her, and I don't know. Did they? I don't think she got it.
I don't think she ever
but
got
someone
it.
said at the end that she.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, I know.
She didn't. I was listening to it. She never
No,
got
but
it.
I meant like after. I think
Yeah.
after the.
Oh well, then at that point it's over. You already did it.
Yes.
But it happens. I'm glad I'm better too. This was a weird one. The first one I got, I knew I was sick. I immediately knew I was sick, and I even said that this was in Arizona. I said there's something wrong with me, and I said I need to take a COVID test. That was in 2022.
2020.
When they finally lifted the mask mandate, when I was flying back to the Bay Area, and I flew back again, and then everybody who didn't want to wear masks didn't wear their mask. And I'm not saying masks make a difference. I'm not here to do a political discussion on whether a mask works or not.
What's so funny? Because then it's so funny that masks became political in the first place.
Yeah, it is.
I never knew that wearing a mask could become political.
So
But I digress.
when the airlines decided to lift the mask mandate, you're no longer required to wear a mask. Everyone who were wearing masks took them off, including those ones who probably should have kept the mask on. So they basically were giving away like candy, like here a little bit of COVID. It's like Oprah. You got COVID for you. You got COVID for you. Everybody gets COVID. So normally we were pretty good at not getting it because we tried to stay safe. And being the fact that my sister passed away from the first round of COVID that went out, she was that first group that they had on TV every day watching the numbers grow. That was so depressing watching that. You couldn't even leave the house, but you were forced to watch the numbers grow every day on TV. On the news. And so then my sister passed away, so that added a little bit of more, anxiety for me about the whole thing. So then this one, we're not sure where we got it from. We don't know who gave it to us. But at this point, it really doesn't matter who gave it to you. Just know that we got it. And I thought it was more like allergies. I'm like, oh, my allergies are messing up. What is wrong? What is going on? I feel like I can't, because I have really bad respiratory allergies. I've had it all my life because of secondhand smoke. And at one point, we were supposed to be in Monterey until Saturday. But we left on Friday because I realized that, you know what, I'm not going to keep trying this. I'm just going to go home. And I noticed I developed a bit of a slight fever. So that was another trigger. And you asked me, do you normally get fevers with allergies? And I said, well, I don't think you do. But then I looked it up and it says you can. So there's, you can always find whatever answer you're looking for. And then we get home. I let you drive because I was like starting to feel really bad all of a sudden. So I let you drive at Santa Cruz. You took the rest of the way home, right? Mm-hmm. And then I got home and I tested, and I was like, wait. First thing it did.
I think you tested the next day.
No, I tested as soon as I got home.
Oh yeah.
I tested as soon as I got home.
Friday, that's right.
And and first thing it did, the line just. I said, "Oh wait. This is an old
Yeah,
test."
you know how like on the test they tell you like wait 15 minutes before looking for the results. He put your saliva on the drops, and then he just like automatically the line came up, and he was just like, "Oh, I have COVID." I'm like, "You're supposed to wait 15 minutes."
I'm like, "But the line doesn't go away."
I know it doesn't, but you're still supposed to wait 15 minutes.
But it didn't wait. It just went poof, and I go, "Oh." So I said, maybe the test is flawed. I still don't believe it. I want to double check. So we took a second test.
Yeah, that's the name of the current variant. Yeah.
And the second test was like, and it says, I'm still here. I'm still here.
And I took one test on Friday, and I tested negative. But then I woke up on Saturday with a scratchy throat.
And then you said, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, I decided, okay, I think I should take a COVID test. And then I tested positive.
And I heard her go, darn it.
I was pissed. Well, not pissed, but, you're kind of like, if for anybody who's ever had COVID, like, you see when you see your test results, I mean, you feel kind of like, oh, that sucks, because then now you have to stay home, and obviously, make sure you get better, and you don't know what to expect. Like the first time around, I knew that I was sick because I was shivering. Like I started shivering at work when I got sick the first time, and then I knew I had a fever. So I went home and I knew I was sick. This time around, I just had a scratchy throat, and I was feeling a little tired in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, like I should be fine. But because he tested positive, I was like, oh, I should test myself because I probably now have it. And then I did have it. And then the next day, and then the day after that was when I had the fever.
Yeah, so ironically, my fever only got to 100.7. Now, people go, 107? No, not 107. 100.7. And I popped a couple of Advil, and it dropped down to nothing. But then when I went to check you the next day, yours is at 102.9. And I go, wow. So yours was, you had a higher fever than I did. Mm-hmm. And so I, popped you a couple of Advil and kept. And
I don't like taking ibuprofen or acetaminophen or any of that stuff, but so it was I also am human and don't want to suffer either. So
I called it mild version because the one I had before was brutal. So yes,
I don't know. This time around, I feel like this one was a little bit more brutal for me. But then I'm wondering if the first time around felt worse because I didn't know what to expect. And this time around, I kind of knew, okay, I'm probably going to have a fever and I'm probably going to like feel really tired. And I knew that was going to happen. It's just I didn't know when in the timeline it would happen. Thanks, Brad on the go.
Thank you, Brad on the go for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate it. Yay.
But what I will say, the upside about already having COVID is that we now can like
take a little break.
We won't get COVID for a little bit. Until I guess there's like a new variant because we still have what did they say? Is it still like the antibodies or is it? Yeah. I could be saying.
Well, your body builds up antibodies for that particular variant. But when the new one, the one thing about COVID, it morphs. So as it morphs to a new variant, then you have
then you can become susceptible
all over again. This is according to my doctor. He says, okay, well at least you got over it and you're good to go, and you should be okay for the next 3 to 4 months. Yeah. But I don't take that for granted. I take it.
I take that lightly, though. I'm like, I still like want to distance myself and But now I think when it comes to like really crowded places, like I'm a little bit more like, okay, might need to like step back.
But we quarantined in the house from the whole time. The minute we realized that we had it, we never left the house.
Yeah.
Finally I left the house was when I tested negative, and I was like, okay, good.
I stayed in the house for straight up 8 days. Like I didn't leave the house for 8 days. There were moments where, I was like, there's something about, and I don't know if anybody can relate, but for me, there was something about just being inside the whole time. I'm I like to be outside. I like to get the sun in my eyes, reset my circadian rhythm, all of that good stuff. And I like just didn't go outside, and I like cracked the window open to get the fresh air, but it wasn't the same. And yeah, and then I finally stepped outside like on the 8th day, and I felt better.
But I will admit, though, I did lose my sense of smell.
Yeah, I didn't do that or like lose my sense of taste. And Someone said, oh yeah, Betty Veronica says, I know a few people who have long COVID, but I think it's different for everyone. Yeah, like I haven't had issues like long term. After the first time we had COVID, it was like one and done. And then this second time, like I feel like how I felt before I had COVID, like totally like just normal, and stuff. I don't have any like congestion anymore, no coughing. So I do believe it is different for everyone. It may be dependent on someone's immune system, maybe their age. I don't know, but yeah, I do definitely think it's different for everyone. Even we had different symptoms, even though we got COVID around the same time. Even we had different symptoms. Like you never had an itchy throat.
No.
Your congestion was way worse than mine, but my
Yes.
fevers were higher than yours.
Yes.
I didn't have like a deep cough like you did. So it's like it's not predictable, which I think is the scary part.
I'm trying to understand why Gabriel wrote, looking at the sun is bad for your eyes.
Oh, because
right?
I said getting sun in my eyes. Well, okay, Gabriel. So when I say that, I'm not directly looking at the sun. What I mean is I'm getting outside and like the sun. Basically, when your eyes are exposed to the brightness of the sun.
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah, it's a figure of speech. When it's exposed, that tells your body, okay, I can suppress the melatonin, the hormone melatonin from being released. It's time to wake up. And so they're like, you feel naturally awake. That's what I meant. And because I never left the house, I was like trying to get like the brightness of the daylight. I won't say the sun anymore. The brightness of the daylight through the window instead of like actually going outside. So that's what I meant. I don't stare directly into the sun. You gotta give me a little bit more credit than that.
No, he's just being nitpicky.
Yeah, Anon says, yeah, I know someone who had issues with tasting for more than a year. Wow, that's wild. So did when you say they had issues with tasting, does that mean like they just couldn't taste what they were eating, or it was like very minimal, or it altered their taste? Because that's interesting.
Well, there are some people that lost their taste altogether. I know that they literally can't. Like when I had my stroke, how many years ago was that?
Almost 9.
I had 0 taste buds except for citrus for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Couldn't taste a thing.
Only citrus?
Citrus was the only thing that really stood out. I could eat food, but it was like just eating like cardboard. It had no flavor to it except for like orange, lemons. I could even eat ghost peppers because it wouldn't affect me.
Wow.
Well,
and those are hot.
It affected me coming out. It didn't affect me going in.
Okay, that's too much. I think that was it. They could not taste. Wow, that's wild.
So there's nothing weird.
Okay.
There's nothing more crazier than not having to be able to taste the food you eat.
Yeah, no, totally. I think anytime like one of your senses is like you can't, like if you can't smell well or you can't see well or you can't taste well, anytime, or even like, well, if you can't touch, like it's just anytime I think your senses are hindered, like it feels like you're not yourself, but then I mean there are some people that like have permanent I can't even talk. Permanent sense of smell, like they have lost it permanently.
I've never met anybody who lost it completely.
I've heard of people. Well, I guess I won't say permanently, but I have heard of people losing it for a long period of time and haven't come back in. I'm like, I don't know if it was because of COVID or not, but it's just kind of weird. But
can you imagine, like you're in a house and you have a gas leak, but you can't smell it?
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. When I had COVID for the first time, I held a scented candle inches from my nose and could not smell it. It went back to normal within a week. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I would say when I had COVID both times, I didn't lose my sense of smell or taste, which I'm happy because I love food. And so it's hard if I can't taste what I'm eating and I'm just eating just to eat. But yeah, like I feel bad for people that end up having to lose things that are so natural.
I like Felix's question. What foods are you going to reward yourself with after all this ruckus? You know what? I mean, we never thought about rewarding ourselves.
I just eat, but I just still eat the same.
Yeah.
I don't like I think it's because I don't restrict myself from eating certain foods, so I just still eat how I eat. But we will say one thing though. I remember every day I was really bothered because I wanted sushi so badly. And I was like, man, I really want some omakase. I really want like chef's choice. And we were like, we can't leave the house. And we looked up what it would cost to order omakase, which means chef's choice, a 10-piece. And we looked at Instacart because Stanley had ordered us some groceries. And so he was like, oh, out of curiosity, let's see how much sushi costs to order. It was like a 10 pieces for like $70. We're like, nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah, no, it's not 70.
Yeah, 70. I thought it was 70.
78.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. $8 more. So $70 for 10 pieces of nigiri.
78.
That's why I said $78.
You said 70.
Oh, $78 for 10 pieces of nigiri.
Oh, like, and I have a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up because I love
you love what?
I can't say it now.
Omakase?
Thank you. I love omakase, but what did I tell you about omakase?
Oh, yeah. So there's some places we go to where when you order omakase, now I'm like, am I saying it right? They'll give you, so it's like, usually they'll do like 10 pieces.
For $45.
Maybe like 12 pieces. No, 10 pieces for like 30.
No, I've seen somewhere.
Sorry, 38.
We've seen some as high as $45.
But there's this one place that I go to that has 10 pieces for $22. But the funny part is I never realized this. But Stanley was like, yeah, they really give you 9 pieces and 1 piece is egg. And I was like, oh, you're right. And I noticed that it was at the places with the cheaper omakase.
Yeah, so you're paying for 10 pieces of it's supposed to be chef's choice. But for some reason the chef always chooses the egg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I want an egg, I go to a farm.
Yeah,
I don't want order
he told that to you told that to the guy at
then there's another one we went to once that had all-you-can-eat sushi.
Oh, and they had heck of rice.
But what they didn't tell you was it was all the rice you could eat.
All the rice you can eat with small pieces of fish.
Very thinly sliced. It's like, remember, I don't know if anyone has ever been to a, what's that place called I love with the cheese
revolving?
eggs? No.
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
So I went to a Waffle House in Birmingham, Alabama, I think it was, or somewhere when I was in the over there visiting my sister. Mm-hmm. And they literally had cheese eggs and bacon, but the bacon was literally so thin you could read the word Waffle House on the plate. Through the bacon.
Oh, that's bad.
So the sushi was cut very thin.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had like 8 pounds of rice. If you could cut half the rice off.
Not literally 8 pounds of rice, just in case Gabriel.
In case
the rice was just so, like, nigiri is like the rice is usually like this, and then the fish is on top. Well, this one, the rice was like this, and then the fish was on top. Anyways, so Betty Veronica says, I wonder if a different part of the brain starts to compensate for a lack of one sense. I don't know, but what I will say though is I had a doctor of a relative of mine told my relative that when who had earwax buildup in both ears, that the brain will work harder to try to hear. Like, so if you have too much wax in your ear and you're trying to, talk to people, you may not notice it, but your brain will work harder to try to hear someone or something. And if your brain is working harder to try to hear, then like your memory, like the energy that could be used to remember things or other, do other things will be spent on the trying to hear. So I can believe that. It sounds like that could be kind of similar, like overcompensating because you're struggling so hard with one thing or lacking. So if you can't hear and you're trying to hear, that means was that Alexa? That means all of a sudden, like, you can't remember things maybe because you're struggling to like hear so much. So I don't know. But anyways.
So let's switch gears for a moment.
Oh wait, can I read one more thing?
Sure.
Bill Van Ram says, I have a work friend that lost his sense of smell from brain injury from skateboarding, but he can still taste food.
You ever notice if you don't want to taste food, you cover your nose?
So like this?
And then usually, but the brain make a difference.
That's interesting because when you think about it, when you prepare your body for food, in order to like get your taste, like your saliva, like the enzymes in your saliva, like before the food even touches the mouth, Smelling helps to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system to start the digestion process.
I have a question.
Sorry, I'm like, so that's sad. Not sad. I guess it sucks because if you can't smell it, you have to prepare your body for the food by like in other ways, like through sight, right?
Yeah, I had a question, but I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to look it up while you talk.
Whoa, no, what are you going to ask me?
Is there such thing as earwax candles?
Oh gosh, that sounds gross.
I bet you there is.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh wait.
No, did you find something disgusting?
Hold on.
Okay,
I just wonder.
I'm going to read something else then. So Gabriel says, true story, my great-grandfather, whom I never knew, lost his sense of smell at one point and did not get it back until several years later when he was hit by a car. Oh gosh, that sounds horrible. But yes, like the whole losing your sense of smell for like a long period of time just sounds so crazy to me. Like, I guess it goes to show too, like when we take for granted like the things that just come so natural, and then all of a sudden we don't have it anymore. It's yeah. Really, Gabriel says I don't know what earwax is. He's being
facetious.
Please tell me you're being facetious. Hold on, something popped up.
Earwax candling. You put a candle in your ear.
Oh gosh. Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait
whatever.
for it. Just kidding. Just like toe jam. Oh my god.
He probably makes toe jam sandwiches. Probably makes peanut butter and toe jam sandwiches.
Whenever I smell garlic or onions on a grill, I salivate. That's what Betty Veronica says.
Yeah, there is such a thing as candling ears, and we just found that out just now.
Bill Van Ram says, picturing earwax while I'm eating.
I know.
So, Bill, don't eat while you're watching us. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But I brought one of those devices off of Amazon where you can put lukewarm water and it sprays inside your ear to clean it. I like it.
Water.
Yeah, put some water in your ear.
Hey, our friend Data Master is here.
Welcome, Data Master. You know, we've been gone for so long that our numbers have dropped off considerably.
Oh, wow. Okay, well.
That's what we get for being sick and having, days that we want to enjoy life.
Well, they'll come back.
They better.
We still have our support here.
We have the ones, everyone counts, but these are our favorite people here.
Betty Veronica says she's right. I'm eating dinner too. Okay, guys, we'll stop talking about earwax.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I brought it up because when you said that if the brain compensates for like loss, it reminded me of what that doctor said.
Yes, Gabriel, I'm actually over 11,000 subscribers on YouTube right now, but it doesn't get me back to where I want to be, which is 88,000. But at some point we'll get there. And since you brought that up, if you haven't been to my see the latest video, crazy as it may be.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not uncommon. Everybody thinks that it's rare that you will find people that are driving drunk early in the morning. And imagine testing almost 4 times the legal drinking limit at 9 a.m. And I think of all days that person decided to do it, they figured they probably have done it a lot, but they never did it on a day when there was a saturation traffic enforcement program crackdown. So when that happens, there are cops from all over San Mateo County, and their only purpose, they're traffic cops, and their only purpose is to make the streets safer when conducting, so that, because drivers out here are just out of control. They run red lights, they run stop signs, they cut you off, they yell at you and tell you that you're at fault.
That happened to me today.
Yes, it happened to you today.
Someone ran a stop sign and had the audacity to roll down the window and start yelling at me. It was, oh my gosh, amazing.
And like Chris Maverick says, to blow a .260 means you had to consume 8 to 10 drinks.
That's a lot.
That's a liver killer right there if you're drinking that much. Now, the part that really got me was not the fact that you know how I do when I do videos of, I'll post a little snippet of what I'm about to post when I do the story. Well, now here's where it gets interesting. So, a person who claimed to be a friend of the person that was stopped for DUI and was arrested for DUI, pulled up on the scene to pick up the woman had a German Shepherd in the back, a rescue German Shepherd. So they couldn't tow the car with the dog in it. So they pulled up after everything was over with. She was already in the patrol car. Everything was done. They were just waiting to get the dog and so they can tow the car. The tow truck, I think, was even almost here. A car pulls up. Two women get out of the car. I'm standing on the curb because at this point, everything is pretty much over with. And they walk over to me and they say to me, and if you find the article, you can look it up. They wrote an article. I'll explain to you. They wrote two articles. They wrote one article and they sent it to maybe the same company but different names. One was Pacifica Tribune. The other one was Half Moon Bay Review. And so they wrote their own version of what happened. They said that they were there I believe they said they were there the whole time. And they asked me who was I, and I said, was I with the police? And I said, I'm riding with them, but I'm not the police. If you want to talk to them, they said, we're here to pick up the dog. So they got the dog, and I asked them, because I wanted to see if the dog was friendly, and they said, no, he's probably not because, he's a rescue dog, so he's a little bit skittish. That's fine. So she was off. She went away, and as usual, I post a snippet of video of her being put into the patrol car, and of course she was crying out loud. And as you know, I have the nonprofit. So on the bottom of the Instagram page, it says, you can help us do the more work. They took that and tried to run with it. Says, yeah, he's posting. He claims he's for public safety, but he's posting video so he can solicit funds, which wasn't actually the case. It was more of a tease to let you know what's coming up because I'm working on a video and I want you to see the whole thing. But if you don't know I'm working on something, how would you know? And that was now in the TV business, the news business, I've been in for 30 years. You always know that you go with the video that has the most impact. That had impact. But
yeah, because that got a lot of people talking.
A lot of people talking. And I'm not going to lie to you. I literally lost sleep over that story.
Yeah, and guess what?
What?
I lost sleep too.
Sorry about that. So here's why I lost sleep. I'm not a real big fan of putting people on blast for situations like that because sometimes they need help. But think about it this way: if that person were, let's say and to give you a little bit of the process of what took place, she was so convincing that she was sober that even I was like, well, maybe she didn't drink, maybe it's just a mistake. But when she got out the car and walked back, I noticed her eyes were glassy. Her walk was unsteady, but she was, and I didn't use the parts of the video, but I may do a little snippet more of the testing they did because the testing gave away a lot of details.
So, it showed why
but she was very belligerent towards the officer, extremely belligerent, and that she didn't want to participate, and she kept insisting she had nothing to drink, she hadn't taken any drugs, and even I was like, well, maybe she didn't. Maybe it's just a weird mistake, right? So it didn't really dawn on me that she was intoxicated until they did the two breathalyzers. Mm-hmm. And the first one came back a 0.56. And I was like, wait, is that right? What does that mean? What does 0.256 mean? And he's like, well, I want to make sure we'll do a second one. They have to wait 2 minutes for the breathalyzer to reset. They did a second one. And now, ironically, she was really belligerent with the female officer, but with the male officer, she wasn't as belligerent. Now, keep in mind...
Did she say anything to you?
No, she never talked to me. She saw the camera. Most people will recognize the camera and, target the camera. She never said anything about the camera whatsoever being there. She was just more focused on belittling the
female officer.
The female officer from Daly City. She was really, really, really rude and I was like, wow, this is... she was... And that's kind of like that gaslighting thing where you want to, if you yell at it enough, maybe it'll go away. But she kept yelling at her, calling her names. Then finally, the officer I was riding with from Pacifica, and Will Smith said to her, look, you have two options. You can be rude like you're being now and go to jail, or you can be nice and go to a place where you can sleep it off and you get a citation.
That's wild.
It's wild, but that's California.
That's wild that's an option.
It's California, you have this, there's a whole lot of things now that you do that.
And just so we're clear, law enforcement do not make up these laws.
Right. Oh, by the way, Steve, Steve is watching for the first time. Steve is home with pneumonia. Steve, feel better. We know you're here, and we appreciate that you're watching. And we just mad it took you to get pneumonia to come watch us. We wish you had watched us before. But, hey, we're here now, so enjoy it.
Hi, Steve and Rose.
So...
wait. Rose says, by the way, where can we get your coffee?
Look on there right now. There's a link on the scroll down there. It says store.mrbadleytv.org.
Yeah.
Go to the very bottom click that. When you go to that link, it'll take you right to the coffee. If you like it robust, get the Caught Misbehaving. If you like it more mellow and smooth, then you get the California blend.
Which is the Behaving Badly.
Behaving Badly blend. So back to the whole thing with this DUI thing. And the reason why I lost sleep again is because I really felt bad that I had to do this story. I want to educate the public, but it's really sad when someone is dealing with alcoholism. But when you're risking people's lives, it's one thing to deal with alcoholism in your house, but when you get behind a 4,000-pound vehicle and you're driving down the street, anything could go wrong. And what caught the officer's attention, according to what I was listening to her talk, was that she saw this car basically crossing the yellow lines, pulling up real fast behind another car, kind of like slamming on the brakes, and trying to go around, just driving aggressively at 9 o'clock in the morning. They follow her. And then here's what should have triggered me off in the very beginning. Or what do you call it? Not triggered me, but...
Ticked you off?
No, figured out that there was something wrong. When you get pulled over, you're supposed to pull to the right. Okay, now some people pull to the left. I don't know why, but you're supposed to pull to the right. The law says pull to the right when you're being pulled over. She stopped in the middle of the road. Stopped right there in the middle of the road, and that's where her car sat. So if you look at the video, you can see the car. It's not on the side of the road. It's in the middle of the road. Right there. And so they did a bunch of tests.
So people have to drive around?
You would have to drive around to get around her. We were sitting in the actual middle of the street, but it was a residential neighborhood, so it wasn't a whole lot of traffic. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of things that were triggering. And, I do read a lot of the comments I get. I don't like a lot of the comments I get.
I wish you didn't, but okay.
But how do I know they're bad comments until I read them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I just ignore them and assume everybody's bad, then I'll never read a comment ever. And I won't know. So, I read them and I take it with a grain of salt. But what annoys me is that people literally nowadays will defend the person who did something wrong. And instead of them going after the person, how dare they do that, they go after somebody like me. How dare you put that out there? Like, you should be more outraged that this person is driving down the street, drinking, is drunk in a car that could potentially hit you, hit your child, hit your dog, hit your house, kill someone, render someone unconscious, anything, brain injuries, all that stuff, because you made a poor decision. So that's what made me prompt to write a post that I put out and I put it on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, that I don't take pride in putting people on blast for drinking and driving. But I hope, and I'll say this to everyone, I hope that the thought of maybe me jumping out of a patrol car with a camera will prevent you from ever getting behind the wheel and driving. Because if you do it, and I'm with an officer, you will be put on blast. I may not like it, but I will do it because it's my right as a journalist to let people know what's going on. And it's your right as a public to be aware that there are issues that you need to be aware of. Am I right or wrong? Mm-hmm. No comment, just mm-hmm.
You're right.
All right. So which social media outlets do you get the most?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Twitter.
Well.
Or X, I'm sorry.
Yeah, X. I get a lot. But also lately, now it's interesting with Instagram because my account is made that the only way you can leave me a comment is if you follow me. So you have to follow me to leave a comment. So people will go into the deepest end of following me just to write a negative comment. Well, here's what they do. It really drives me, it doesn't drive me insane, but it just makes me wonder what is going through. So they will comment on your account, but then make their account so that you can't comment back.
Oh, you know what I hate is when they comment and then you comment back and they delete their comment. So your response looks like it makes no sense because they deleted their comment.
So now what I do is I just when I get something like that, I screenshot it. So when you want to take it down, I got receipts. I love this one though. X is gonna give it to you.
I was just thinking that. Chris, when I said X, I was like, X is gonna give it to you, but I didn't say it. And Chris, you're right. Betty, some people don't require alcohol to behave that way to law enforcement. Some people are just so rude.
If I were to play all of the times that she was rude to the female officer, the story would just be, oh my God, But then again, in the present day that we have, you don't have to be drunk to be rude to law enforcement anymore.
Nope.
Nowadays,
yeah, you don't have to be drunk to be rude.
San Jose is a good example. They jumped on the police car and crashed the windows in. And ironically, the people that were caught were from like Salinas, and they're out of town. And a lot of the people that are doing these sideshows are coming in from the Central Valley to do this. And I talked to multiple sources in law enforcement that said that the arrest they make proves that fact, that they're getting them from as far away as, imagine driving from Bakersfield.
Oh, yeah. So we got to put that in context for people that don't live in California. So Bakersfield is in Central California.
Way
Central
out there.
California,
Yeah.
and you can see how big. So, matter of fact, let's just Google the
How far is Bakersfield
distance
from Pacifica? So from here, it's 295 miles. Hold on.
Yeah.
How far is Bakersfield from Oakland? So you have to drive almost 200 and
No, it's a little under 300 miles.
a little under 300 miles.
Yeah.
Just so you can drive and see. The reason why they do that is because they know that, number one, there's not enough cops. Number two, there's that crowd-like mentality. Number three, they can get away with it because they tried to do that in Stockton, and 88 cars were impounded by Stockton Police Department. So why would they attempt to do it again when they already know that they're going to get stomped on?
Yeah, so they go elsewhere.
And I mean stomped on like in taking your car away, not like being beat up. So let's not switch the words around.
How long is that in hours?
Well,
so
let's say you're driving 70 miles an hour. So 2 hours is
so 273 divided by 70.
Yeah, is
Gabriel? Gabriel, can you answer that for us?
No, he doesn't know how to do math.
Gabriel, of course, Gabriel knows how to
No.
do math.
He doesn't know how to. He doesn't even know what a statement
Really?
is.
3.9 hours. So almost 4 hours. I just divided it.
So someone asked me about, and I'm not getting into politics. I'm just going to say this. Someone asked me about what sites do you get the worst comments on.
So Gabriel said it just after I did.
Yeah, 4 miles.
Yeah, 4 miles.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's a little less. It's 3.9.
Not 4 miles. 4 hours.
4 hours. Yeah.
If I say 4.
But you guys, just the thought of someone.
So it's
driving,
8 hours round trip.
Yeah, just the thought of someone driving that far just to do a sideshow,
And if you know what a sideshow is, it's cars doing donuts in the middle of the street.
But remember when they did the sideshows? Were those the same people that also robbed the gas station?
So
store?
here's the deal: they come down, they did a sideshow. There was a gas station where 79 to 80 people kicked the door in, even though there was a served to the window only. They kicked the door in and ransacked the whole place. Mm-hmm. And they were just coming from a sideshow nearby, which makes sense. Now, why would anybody destroy their own neighborhood? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: you can even talk to other people who say, if you want to see what goes on, park on the 580 freeway around Dublin and watch about midnight when you see the cars all start coming up over the hill. And someone said they actually stage up at there's a rest stop at the top of what's that little area called? The little pass. There's a little rest stop up there, and they stage there, and before they all meet up and come down. No. I forgot what it's called, but it's over by the windmills, off the 580.
No, I was thinking.
Somebody will tell me.
I was thinking Lebec, but that's way too far.
Yeah, you're right, Felix. The chief of El Dorado County said it best. These thugs don't go there because they implement the laws firmly.
Yeah. Anon says, so essentially think Washington, D.C. to New York. Okay, so New York City. So that would be like 4 hours. D.C. to... Yeah, so for those people on the East Coast, they can picture that.
And then you'll see them driving back early in the morning to go home, to go to bed. And they wake up, at 4 in the afternoon.
I mean, literally.
And start all over again.
Betty, I don't understand it either. Burning up their tires, polluting air, and
well, again, people will tell you that they're not really burning up their tires.
Yeah.
So, some people have I know it sounds kind of stupid.
So they steal the cars.
They have extra tires they use for the sideshows and any one that they put in their car.
Or they get stolen cars.
And a lot of times the cars are stolen.
Yeah.
But if they're not, that's why I tell people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But that's why I tell people: if your car is stolen, even if your license plate is stolen, report it ASAP. So that way they can put it up in the flock system. Unfortunately, though, right now Oakland doesn't have a flock system.
Just San Francisco doesn't either.
They do now.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah. So they've been catching a lot more people with the flock system.
Pacheco Pass?
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
So
for the life of me couldn't think of it. I don't even know why I said Lebec. That's not even in the same area.
How far is El Segundo from Pacifica?
El Segundo?
Yeah.
2.9
No.
miles.
How far is El Segundo from Pacifica? 402 miles. So
Oh yeah, El Segundo's in Southern California.
It's in LA. It's near LA County.
Yeah.
So you lost your wallet. It'll take you 400 miles to go pick your wallet up. Yeah, so
No.
I lost my
don't
wallet
know
in
that
El
song.
Segundo. So here's what's really, and so this is what makes it even crazier. So Oakland is already a hotbed for violence and for crime.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Unequivocally, there's
If
a
you
problem
plan on
there.
visiting California, you might want to
So
avoid.
I
Oakland.
was reading one day, and this did not go over very well with people. They want to put flock cameras in Oakland
Why doesn't that go well with people?
because their go-to is, well, they're only using flock cameras to target the black and brown people and no one else.
Are the black and brown people committing these crimes?
Hold on. Time out. Flock cameras don't target
No, they
color
don't.
skin.
They don't.
They look for, if the place listed in the flock is either from a stolen vehicle, a missing person, a crime that was committed, and if the license plate is used, then it shows up in the system, and then they double check it. How they double check it? The flock gets it, it goes to the system, then they look it up to see if that's the same plate, and they double check the image. If they match it, then they send it out to the officers in the area. Now, when they first put the flock's cameras in Brisbane, they were getting all kind of guns. Mm-hmm. So now the criminals know that, okay, we're going to go to Brisbane because they have flock. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't know where Brisbane, California is, it's on the border of San Francisco.
That's right. That's the next city after.
San Francisco did not have flock for a while, but now they do have it. So when you come off, and more cities are getting, now here's where it goes, where it's not, how I know it's not a target for black and brown people, because the city of Hillsborough has flock system. Mm-hmm. Now we all know that the city of Hillsborough is full of.
Isn't Hillsborough a town?
The town of Hillsborough.
Yeah.
It's just a big town. There's no businesses. It's all rich people.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't think there's any low-income housing in Hillsborough, even though they have to put some there at some point. And if they do put low-income housing, I want to get one. I would love to live in Hillsborough.
They're not going to put in low-income.
I know the chief, and he does a really good job of making sure that place stays safe.
Yeah.
And I know a few guys that work there that they do. It's like literally right next to Burlingame. So everybody who lives in Hillsborough, we drove through there.
It's a very nice area. Yeah.
The houses look like
Hillsborough is also, for context, Hillsborough is where that the Flintstones. If you guys, the people that are out of state, if you've ever heard of the Flintstone house here, the Flintstone house is in Hillsborough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the one where they had to have omakase for $280.
Yeah, they were going to do it, and then they shut it down because they
have no businesses there.
Yeah, no businesses, so they were violating the
code.
The code
city
for,
code.
Yeah, the city code.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to live in Hillsborough, but I looked at the house one day. And it was like, hey, for a house, it was reduced. I was like, oh, it's reduced. How much is it? $12 million. Woo!
Hillsborough low income equals only $10 million for a 2-bedroom. Oh my god, I cannot.
I knew a friend of mine who used to live in he lived in Atherton. Remember Mario? He had his little tiny house in
Atherton. Oh, that's where Steph Curry lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the house right there, like $20 million. And I'm like, wait, you live in Hillsborough?
Did you ever go to his house?
Yeah, I went to his house.
In Atherton?
Yeah. Yeah. The land was probably worth more than the house.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's just the whole area is filthy, filthy rich. And when I say filthy rich, it's like, remember see those videos of when they playing with the money and they got whole big old wads like this? Well, they don't have big old wads. They just have a big old bank account. They don't. One thing about rich people, if you're really rich, you don't flaunt it.
Yeah, you don't flaunt it.
You don't flaunt money. You just, people know. Like they wear blue jeans and t-shirt and,
You mean they dress like they cover their bodies?
Yes, exactly. Matt Mahan's licensed reader has been successful in San Jose, which is great. The number of criminals roaming the streets is frightening. Yeah, but see, again, I'll tell you this again, and I'll make it clear. This is a public service announcement for me and for Mr. Baddy TV. If your license plate gets stolen, please announce it. Let PD know right away. Even if you think you lost it, let them know right away. Because if you think it fell off the car, then we report it as missing. Because then it gets in the system, and if somebody uses that to commit a crime, there's a good chance they might catch them. Because out here on the peninsula, the minute they get a flock reading, every different agency converges on an area where the flock would read to try to track down that car. And I like it. You know, I like it a lot. So flock, whoever made that idea, it was a great idea. You know, catch them all. And if you're not dirty, then you have nothing to worry about.
Dirty.
If you're not dirty like the South, then you have nothing to worry about. Right? Do you disagree or agree?
Agree.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, $10 million is for 2 bedrooms is crazy. There's a house I saw this morning in Oakland that was literally like it almost burned down to the ground. It was dilapidated. They wanted $400,000 for it, but it really needed to be rebuilt from the ground up, and for $400,000.
So are you paying for the land then?
Yeah, I guess. But you still had to build a whole new house. And you had to, I had to build a house of concrete with concrete windows.
Bill Van Ram says Bing Crosby lived in Hillsboro.
He probably did.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Bing.
Betty says I would say there's a difference between wealthy and people who earned wealth. Honestly, that's a lot of people with dirty money.
You know, a lot of people who I've met that are filthy rich. They got their money from family. I grew up poor. I didn't have family to give me. I wish I had a rich family to give me money, but I've never had that option. It's my life has always been a struggle, and they say the struggle is real. But I don't give up. You know, if they put a hurdle in front of me, I just step back a little bit further and try to get a running start to jump over it.
They see me rolling, they hating. Chris.
Off subject, can you? Oh, yes, we can whale watch. We saw like about a dozen of them.
Oh, yeah, we saw a bunch of them.
Yeah, it was like a whole whale party. It was like, yeah, well, we're rolling. There's like, well, picture me swimming. I'm sorry, that was bad.
That was really bad.
Did you feel? No, we're too far from Gilroy to feel the earthquake.
2 days ago. Well, we were closer to Gilroy 2 days ago.
We didn't feel anything, though.
No,
we were in
didn't.
Monterey. We still didn't feel it.
Yeah.
And Gilroy is still...
About an hour from Monterey.
That reminds me. So when I moved to Salinas back in the 80s, I could drive from Salinas to San Jose in about an hour.
Mm-hmm. Now you can't.
I could drive from there to San Francisco in about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But now, from us to go here to Salinas is 4 hours.
Traffic.
Because there's so much traffic. And what had happened was, a lot of the buildings out here got too expensive. And so, being the people that we are, we literally...
move outward.
They move outward. And so they all started going to Salinas.
It's kind of like what they did from like San Francisco to like the East Bay and then Tracy.
Right. So what they've done in Salinas and Marina and Seaside is they basically started buying up all the property out there.
Now it's expensive.
So now the people who've been living there all their life and barely making ends meet now really can't make ends meet because unless you already own a home, you're out. And then the traffic is so bad that you can't, literally 4 hours. It should not be 4 hours to drive.
No.
From Pacifica, California to Monterey at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Shouldn't be, but now it is. And the prices, I know a person that had to move out because the rent went too high.
Really?
Yep.
To move out of where?
Marina.
Oh.
Yeah. And Marina wasn't never an expensive place.
No.
Yeah, they had to move.
Apparently there's a big fault on Hollister area.
Yeah, that's Hollister's fault.
Really? BC Stargazer says, when I fly commercial, I always go back after the first service past the curtain to see how they treat my fellow travelers in Coach.
Coach.
That's random.
I don't know. Maybe it's talking to somebody else. Curtain to see how they treat. Well, I get what he's saying. He said when he flies commercial, so apparently every now and then he flies private.
Yeah.
But he flies commercial and he goes back to see how they're being treated. But I remember the first time I flew first class.
First class?
No, not the first time. I had Continental. I used to rack a point and would take
Continental?
That's how long ago it was.
Dang.
But then I flew from Hawaii to from San Francisco to Hawaii, and I decided for the first time I'm going to treat myself to go to Hawaii first class.
First class.
And as we're sitting in our seats, because you didn't get to board first, this lady walks in, blonde hair lady walks in.
Oh, yeah, I remember the story.
And she says, she looks at us in first class and says, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last. And I was like, wow. Wow, that's...
I'm not even going to say...
As she walked back behind the
coach.
curtain to coach.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
Yeah, I loved... damn, that's old. Yeah. So my first flight to California was Continental Airlines. And I had racked up so many miles. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to use these miles. And then I let it sit for a little bit. And I went back, I got like 1 trillion miles on Continental. So I went on, I'm like, I'm going to use them. They were gone.
Why were they gone?
Because back then they didn't have forever miles.
They expired?
They got rid of them. They took them away from me. I was so disappointed. I had like 1 million miles of travel. And
why didn't you contact them?
because I didn't know they were gone until it was too late.
Oh.
They said, well, you have to use them within a,
Did they really use that voice?
Yeah, and that's what they sounded to me. It sounded like that. Remember I took you to Salinas, though? Wasn't that cool?
You mean a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you frowning for?
Because you said, remember when I took you there, as if that wasn't just recent.
It was a rhetorical question. Do you remember?
I do remember.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't believe that person said that to you, though. That's ridiculous. The audacity.
Free at last.
What is wrong with people?
That resonated in my skull forever.
What is wrong with people? The nerve.
Well, now people say what they want. And my final note is, I know we don't do politics, but I had to bring this up. I've been reading since they decided that Biden dropped out, and now they have, how you pronounce her name? Kamala Harris. A lot of the posts are sexist. And if it had been a guy, they would never be getting those kind of posts. So I'm not disappointed because I know I expected it. But I mean, literally...
You can be disappointed and expect it. Because, to be honest, like as a woman, I've seen that kind of treatment in a workplace. It's unfortunate that women are still treated a certain way. Not everywhere, but yeah, some places, yes. It is still very much sexist out there. I can only speak from my experience, though. I can't speak on anybody else's experience.
I unfollowed about half a dozen accounts today because they kept posting really, really, really sexist comments. I don't do the whole political thing, but when you start posting about somebody's, about their, when you start making, comments that are like not just sexual, but degradingly sexual, that's when I draw the line.
I stayed off of social media today.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
It's pretty brutal.
Because people
and all for the sake of free speech. I mean, come on now, I get it, but wow.
I'm staying off social media. I can't.
Yeah,
There's too much.
I unfollowed a few people so I don't have to see because they were just boom, 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 boom. It was like they were on a mission. I'm just gonna keep posting sexist stuff, and they got progressively worse. And worse and worse.
What happened to if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all? Like if you don't like someone, why bother putting the energy to talk crap?
No one ever went by that. No one except for you and me and people here have never gone by that rule.
There are other people that go by that rule, but it seems like majority of the people don't because people get what's the phrase? I know social media, it's on our phones, but people can do it on their computers too. But people get keyboard courage, is that what it is?
Yes.
Because they sit behind this computer or this phone and no one can see their face, and so they feel like they can just type whatever they want, as disrespectful as it is. And maybe, who knows, maybe she'll never see those comments. But those things are still hurtful. Like, what if someone had said that to your mom? Or what if someone had said that to your sister or your aunt? If you, why say something about someone if you wouldn't say that to a close family member or a friend, right? I just don't understand the need. If you don't like something, just don't pay attention to it. If you don't like someone, just leave it alone. I personally do not get why people put their energy in places that it's just a waste.
Okay, so
I ranted.
So
sorry.
Diane with 2 N's. Jollibee has been voted #1 best fried chicken in the country.
Oh, I saw that.
Followed by, did you see the video I sent you of the new Jollibee mascot?
I did not. I see it on social media today.
I sent it to you like a week ago.
Oh,
about a week ago.
Okay, that's good.
And I don't like Chick-fil-A.
Why are you so much like me?
I don't know.
Anyways, sorry guys.
But don't get me wrong, they didn't see it. I'm a little disappointed because they left out crispy, crunchy chicken.
Crispy Country Chicken is failing.
It's fire.
It's failing. It's not even making lists.
Fire.
Just kidding.
I think they should have swapped out Chick-fil-A and put Crispy Crunchy, but it should have been. It should have been Crispy Crunchy, Jollibee, and that's it.
So Jollibee is like great. I love Jollibee. I don't eat there often anymore, but when I do eat there, I enjoy it. But I've never tried Pollo Campero. I've never tried Guthrie's Chicken. I've actually never heard of those two. I don't eat Popeyes anymore, and I don't eat Chick-fil-A. So
Chick-fil-A has too many chemicals.
Chick-fil-A, I'm sure that they all have too many chemicals, but I don't. So Jollibee, I will eat like every once in a while. I haven't had Crispy Crunchy in a long time. But yeah, Crispy Crunchy's chicken though, when I tried it, the taste. Jollibee. I like.
I've never heard of Campero, but I'm gonna have to try it out.
Yeah, I've never heard. Where is Pollo Campero?
See, we may not even be out here, but maybe different, countrywide.
Anon says Pollo Campero. Haven't had that in 3 weeks.
Kenny Rogers never had their chicken either.
Wait, I miss Kenny Rogers Roaster. I thought for some reason when I saw Kenny Rogers, I thought you were talking about this. Isn't there a singer, Kenny Rogers?
It's his place, Steve.
Oh, is it?
Yes, Kenny Rogers Roaster. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well,
OMG!
Thanks for filling me in and not making me feel stupid. Oh wait.
Dude, hey, wait! Is that a singer? Yeah, and he sings about chicken.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys, we're gonna have a discussion after we sign off. So Bill Van Ram says I'm political on X, but I don't say anything that I wouldn't say in person, good or controversial. Well, and that's the thing too, Bill. I think that in all honesty, there are a lot of people that will say things that they wouldn't say in person. And I mean, if you're going to say it in person, fine. But I think that there comes a point where, like, if you don't agree with someone, you don't agree with, like, what they do or how they do things. I mean, because all these people are leaders, right? We don't believe in what they do or how they do things. But what does that have to do with, like, what was the thing you said? You saw that, like, there people were posting where she was on her knees or something?
They used her first initial as an H, but they had her on her knees giving a guy a blowjob.
Okay, so what does having to give a guy a BJ have to do with her politics? Or have to do with how she does things?
We don't know yet, because she's only been,
I personally don't know the history. If there's something I'm missing,
well, I can tell you
me,
that,
but it doesn't seem like those posts are saying anything and there's no context.
I'll tell you after we get done where that came from.
Is it from WB?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have heard that before then. Okay. But again, what is that?
I was just, yes, with a long S.
Okay. I personally, okay. I'm not gonna get in on this.
Yes. And Kenny Rogers was an actor as well.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bill Van Ram says Crispy Crunchy is good, but my body doesn't think so. Oh.
In other words, it's good going in, but not good coming out.
I got that.
Yeah. Okay.
People confuse free speech and disrespecting people nowadays. Moral compass is gone sometimes. Yeah, moral compass is gone a lot of the times. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, there are certain people that I don't agree with. Certain leaders and how they lead, I don't agree with. But do I wish any pain to them? No. Do I want to talk crap about them? No. Instead, if I don't agree with how they do things, I either just move on or try to fight for something that actually makes sense to do to help progress. I don't talk. There's no point to talk crap. It doesn't do anything.
Right.
My opinion only. My opinion.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. But if you're watching, on the bottom of the screen there's a blue crawl that says "Get your coffee fix" at store.mrbaileytv.org. Please go there. Check out. We have decaf as well for those. I don't know why you might want to drink decaf because it's like drinking alcohol-free beer.
Even you always say that though, and I drink half calves.
That still has caffeine.
Yeah, but I do mix it with decaf.
It still has caffeine.
Right, but it doesn't have as much.
I'm
caffeine.
saying that it's like drinking alcohol-free beer. So what you want to taste beer, but you don't want to get a buzz.
All right.
Hey, Keith. Greetings, Sam Roberts. Hope you have wonderful Sunday
Oh,
ice cream
today's
day.
National Ice Cream Day?
Yeah, I have some in the refrigerator. We're going to eat some when we get
Oh,
done.
I had cheesecake already. That's my sugar for the day.
I haven't had any sugar today.
That's my sugar for the
Except
day.
for the watermelon.
I've had sugar already.
All right. Hey, guys.
Oh.
So we know that you can be anywhere. We're glad you showed up here with us. Instead, you hung out with us and you gave us your thoughts and your opinions. You laughed and you frowned and you smiled and then you laughed again and then you smiled and you frowned.
And then we disgusted you with certain talk about
Then we talked about ear racks
certain
while you were eating your
things,
food.
And Gabriel brought up toe jam.
Yeah, which you put on your peanut butter sandwich and toe jam.
Ooh.
Yeah. Remember I saw a sign once that says, if you park your car, be towed. T-O-E-D.
How can you even take that sign seriously?
Don't make me tow your car, T-O-E. I was like, huh, really? That's not even a legit sign.
Don't make me big toe your car.
Don't even put my pinky toe in there. What is watermelon? It's like watermelon, only but it has watermelon.
Chris, caffeine. Chris, is it morning there? Have you had your coffee?
It's
already?
morning there yet. He's waking
You've
up.
had your coffee?
You know,
Okay.
the best part of waking up is
It's-
Chris in your cup. What? You ever heard that song?
No, not that version.
Oh, by the way, she hates when I do this.
I hate it when you do it on the refrigerator.
I have a habit of opening the refrigerator up looking for something and I tap a song. No, it's like this.
Okay, yeah, stop.
All right. We love you guys. We got to go. It's already past our bedtime. And I have to eat some ice cream.
Wait, Bill says my wife doesn't eat yams because they remind her of earwax.
I haven't brought your coffee.
That's
Sorry, I've been busy.
interesting.
Well, Felix, you've been busy, but now you're not. So go in there and purchase away. And just keep in mind, when you order the coffee, the roaster logs on, sees what you ordered, and then the next day they roast the coffee before they ship it out. So it's fresh roasted beans, and they come with the expiration date. So it's not like they're not sitting for 6 months before we give it to you. It's roasted the day of. The smell is so great. It literally just smacks you in the face and goes, ooh. Remember how it smells?
It smells good.
Oh, it does smell
It
good.
smells good.
It smells good.
Gabriel, no, I have not seen someone do that, but that's crazy. He says, have you seen the vandalized one-way signs in which someone writes a B on the left and an R between the words?
Boner way? Wow. Okay, Gabriel, we thought you were an innocent guy, but apparently not.
Nope.
We can take that away now.
Have not seen that. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up, and don't forget to try the coffee. Felix, copy that. Get on it. Boom. You know, it's funny. I can tell people. I love when people say, "Oh, I just brought some coffee," and I'm going, "No, you didn't," because we can tell when you buy coffee because my phone tells me you brought coffee.
You weren't supposed to say that.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, guys, we love you. Have a good night. Well, you
Stanley
love
wants to get off so that he could eat some ice cream.
Before I
What?
before that,
What is happening?
had a mineral water air attack. Dunks. I do dunks. You mean like Dunkin' Donuts? That's too much sugar. Anyway, love you. Have a good night.
Good night. We'll see you hopefully next week.
Hopefully,
Will we see them next week?
we should. I don't see a
Okay.
reason why we shouldn't.
Okay.
We have the
We're not
tournaments on Monday.
We're not getting COVID, so we're good.
Well, we don't hope
I'm just
nothing's.
hopefully I didn't jinx that.
What flavor?
He's
Of the land of.
what flavor is our ice cream? The ice cream
It's strawberry shortcake.
Oh, okay.
So it's really
I
good.
might have a spoonful.
Yeah, it's good. It's Ben and Jerry's.
Okay.
Yep,
I might have a spoonful.
but it's actually not real. I'm lactose, so it's made with almond milk instead of other milk. But it's still good. All right, that's
Enon
it.
says I'm from Boston, the land of Dunkin'.
We had Dunkin' Donuts in Philadelphia too, but this coffee. Okay, let me try it this way. If you brought a cup of Dunkin' Donuts every single day, coffee of Dunkin' Donuts, you probably spend about $3, right?
Maybe, but well, in
Up to
California,
$5.
in California, it's probably $5.
$5. And if you have a cup every day, look how much you spent when you get to spend $20 and get a whole bag and have coffee even longer than that and less money.
And it's fresh.
And it's fresh.
And it smells good.
And it smells good.
And it tastes good.
And yes, thank you.
And it's good.
Good. It's good. Jolly good. Like Jolly Bee, but better. With a kick. Like Jolly Bee, but with a kick.
Okay, that's done.
All right, that's right. All right. Let me see. Let me say something else before we go. B&J is, well, I don't know.
What's B&J?
Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, are they?
I didn't know that. So
Oh, I didn't either.
yeah, everybody nowadays is anti-cop. So I mean,
I'm not.
no, I'm saying brands because
Oh.
it was popular to be anti-cop apparently.
Oh, no. I just thought something. Okay.
Well,
I'll look
I
that
have
up.
to find.
I'm gonna look that.
I have
one
to
up.
find ice cream that is dairy free. So
Yeah, if you have any suggestions for dairy-free ice cream
that's actually good
That's
and not just
good.
ice milk.
and it's not anti-cop, please let us know.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good night. Anything else you want to say for our industry?
See you next week.
Hopefully, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh wait, we forgot.
What?
Did you hang up already?
Not yet.
I'm
I'm a millennial,
a boomer.
and have a good night.